Have you ever wondered why guitar teachers bang on about alternate picking? What even is alternate picking, and why do we do it? Well, today's lesson is just about that very subject, and I decided to choose the Thunderbirds intro as a way of illustrating this point. The Thunderbirds intro, as I remember as a small child, watching in awe at the supermarionation of it all, was, if I recall properly, played by a whole string section of violins, I believe, and it just sort of sticks in the brain when you hear it. So I'll just have a little go at playing it. And so on like that. So basically the whole premise of alternate picking is so that you can churn out streams of notes at a reasonable speed, a reasonable pace, without busting a gut and without getting your pick all in a dither and all in a mix up. And so the idea of, and the whole premise of it, is pretty much in the same way that guitarists will strum when they're playing chords, with a continual stream of down ups. So if I'm like, if I was playing any chord sequence, I'd be using that as a premise for kind of getting that going. And the idea is that you carry that premise over into the way that you play individual bunches of notes. And the issue with this particular riff is that there are different combinations of strings to deal with. So you can see where I've highlighted in blue, it's all on the same string on the first beat, 15, 12, 13, 15. So we go 15, 12, 13, 15, down, up, down, up. Then on the second beat, we have to contend with an E string, two B strings, and then an E string again. So which is, and then the third beat is one E string and three B strings. And then finally, the trickiest probably of them all is an E string going to a G and then two B string hits. So the tricky thing with this is that you have to do a downstroke on your E and then an upstroke on your G at fret 14, which is basically, this is an E, this is an A, and this is a B going to a C. Okay, so this is confusing in itself, the fact that there's different string combinations to worry about. I mean, what you can do as a way of dealing with the issues that are thrown up by any particular part of a solo, section of solo, or any riff that you're playing that you're finding tricky to get up to speed, is just deal with each individual beat as a discrete exercise in its own right. So initially we're just looking at 15, 12, 13, 15. I could just repeat that over and over again. Whoops. Okay, not too difficult, it's all on the same string. What about the second beat? 12, 13, 15, 12. So as I loop it round, it's like two 12s together, aren't they? Aren't there? 12, 13, 15, 12, 12. And move on to beat 3, and we find that we have 14, 12, 13, 15. And of course I'm trying to do all of this with one finger to one fret, in the way that you play your major scale, if you have learnt the major scale. If you haven't, then I would suggest you tap me up for some lessons and I'll show you how to play the major scale. And then finally we have this little bit with 12, 14, 12, 13. If all of that gets too much, you'll notice that I've tabbed the same string combinations but without having to worry about really any notes at all. So I'm just really focusing my attention on the bottom line here with what the picking directions are, and not worrying about what the fretting hand has to do. I'm actually left-handed, so my fretting hand is my right hand. If you're right-handed, obviously your fretting hand will be your left hand, which is kind of weird if you think about it, but anyway, that's the way it goes. So down, up, pretty easy. Okay, and then what's the next combo? You've got to go. Not too bad. And then thirdly. And then fourthly. Slow and right is always better than fast and wrong in my book. Okay, so just play these as slowly as you need to get them accurate. Can I play them as a continual stream of picking on the open strings? Just about. Did a little clonk there somewhere. Okay, not too bad. Putting it all together. What I would suggest you do, if you find yourself getting tripped up by anything like this, is start off at a speed where it can't possibly go wrong. However slow that is, don't be embarrassed about playing slowly and accurately, because that's much more value than playing fast and wrong. So play it slow and right rather than fast and wrong, and you'll stay out of trouble. Okay, so we're just going to try this at a pretty moderate tempo. In fact, you'll notice that I've got this thing set at 60 BPM. I might actually play it from here. Okay, so if I now select that and then select the loop function, this is Guitar Pro I'm using. So if I go to the loop function up there and highlight it, it'll just go around that little bit, I think. Yes. So I'm going to just join in at 60. And then what I could do then is incrementally go up 5 BPM at a time, so I can select the tempo up here. This is Guitar Pro 7 I'm on at the moment, so I just key in 65 and just go for that. Very subtle difference, isn't it? Okay. And just keep doing that over and over and over until it becomes second nature and you're not really thinking about it. Hope that's been useful. And this is basically the same generic kind of sequence of techniques that I would apply to learning anything that's tricky, anything that has weird cross string picking, and anything that's a bit awkward like that. You just take it down to a real slow pace and take it from there. Okay guys, I hope that's useful. Hit me up if you want to book in for some lessons. Be more than happy to hear from you. Okay guys, bye for now.